I hope nobody told you this was a normal video, because there's no moral here, there's no happy ending. Or well, sometimes there is, but there is a lot of chaos, because I talk a lot of nonsense. Today's menu is an eardrum blown out by a mariachi trumpet, house that almost turned into Venice, a farewell letter written from the bathroom, and an arm that got stuck that they almost chopped off. So embarrassment and laughter are guaranteed. Don't you dare leave. If you don't want to miss anything, you'd better stay until the end.
One time, my girlfriend ran into a lady in the plaza to whom she owed 8,000 pesos. And just to avoid embarrassment right in front of everyone in the plaza, she turns to me and says, "Oh,
there's Doña Mari. Run, run, run."
And I didn't even know who Doña Mari was, but I still ran. So we went all the way to the end of the plaza, supposedly to avoid her, but in the end, all the effort we made didn't matter. Because at one point, when we thought we were safe, we suddenly ran right into her. And Doña Mari says to my girlfriend, "Sweetie, hi, it's been so long."
Where have you been? But the good thing is that the lady was a friend of my girlfriend, and in the end, she didn't even charge her.
When I was in elementary school, my notebooks were full of the little parrot stamp, and my mom would scold me because I was always talking with my buddies, Panzas and Kalaka, during class. And the teacher was always like, "Be quiet."
15 little devils.
But since Panzas, Kalaka, and I wouldn't be quiet, they gave us the little parrot stamp and said that if we collected 53 of those stamps, no, they'd suspend us for 3 days.
But the good thing is I only got up to 52 stamps, but there was one time they gave me 58 stamps and they suspended me for 3 days. And my mom made me sell bread outside our house. Because if I wasn't gonna study, I was gonna have to work. But the good thing is I made 1,000 pesos working, hustling, working.
One time I thought I was going to kick the bucket while I was blowing up the toilet because I was having some really insane explosive diarrhea. And my guts were coming apart so much that I even thought my stomach was gonna fall out into the toilet. And since I'd been like that for days, I thought I was gonna meet St. Peter. So I wrote a little letter to all my relatives where I was basically saying goodbye to them because I thought I was about to go to heaven. And in the letter to my mom, it said, "Done."
And the stuff on my phone isn't mine. It's Tizok's fault. He's the one looking at dirty things. I love you, Mom. I hope I was a good son.
But in the end, well, I didn't die and they came down on Tizok. Let's see.
Let's see, what for?
One time, my dad burst my cousin Sardina's eardrum because he tried to get a cockroach out of his ear using a mariachi trumpet. Poor Sardina was crying in terror, and my old man with a calm that was scary tuned the instrument and swore by quantum acoustics. Is the shockwave going to spit the bug out? Don't cry. I was freaking out, watching the old man take a breath like he was about to play in a band, and then the blast sounded awful. The cockroach shot out like a bullet, but my cousin ended up walking sideways and his eyes were spinning for 3 days. In the end, he even stopped being so clueless, but now I get scared even when I hear a car horn.
One time, an old lady thought my girlfriend was pregnant. And honestly, I got scared because I thought to myself, old ladies know things. But actually, she thought that because we were at my grandma's birthday party and then my aunt came over and said to my girlfriend, "Sweetie, do you want one?"
Pina colada with alcohol.
But she replied, "No thank you, I can't have that right now." But next to her was Mrs. Chinchita, and she said, "Oh,
We're expecting a new baby. We have to prepare the baby shower."
but actually, my girlfriend couldn't drink alcohol because she had taken some medicine, not because she was pregnant. Oh! One time I saw on television that they were going to turn on a particle accelerator and supposedly it could suck up the earth and wipe out all life, and I shouted, "Mom, we're going to die." But she, while she was chopping onions, told me, "Come on."
Before the world ends, you're going to school.
And I was like, what?
So there was no choice. I went scared, hugging my backpack like it was the last day of my life. And at recess, everyone was playing, but I was paranoid, looking for signs of the apocalypse in the sky. But suddenly, boom, an explosion goes off.
But it was just Panzas who had fallen off his chair, and we all laughed. I laughed so much that I even forgot about the end of the world, until I saw there was a math test, and that's when I really cried.
I'm scared because I'm scared. I'm scared.
I'm scared. One time when I was at the gym, something bad happened because of me, because I was lifting weights I couldn't handle. So I went to a chest press machine and put about 50 kilos on each side. But I left my phone on top of the machine, thinking I was keeping it safe. But then I did about 7 reps, but at the end I dropped the machine because I couldn't handle it anymore. And because of the impact, my phone got knocked loose. Then it hits a metal bar and my girlfriend says, "Look." The phone even went flying, and I confidently said nothing happened to it. My phone is strong, it can handle that and more. But when she saw the screen, there was a hole. Literally, you could even see the battery. One time, my girlfriend and I thought we had seen a monster because one day we were on vacation. And when we only had one day left, we decided to go watch the sunrise at 5 in the morning at the beach. So we set our alarm and headed to the beach. But then at one point, when we were getting to the pool area, everything was really dark, and in the shadows we saw a strange object or lump that was moving toward us. So we stepped back out of fear because we thought it was a monster, but then we saw that it was just some damn raccoons that were on top of a drunk guy who had fallen asleep on the lounge chairs by the edge of the pools. One time, a car ran over a little bird that someone had given me because there was a homeless man who saw me walking by with my parents and he said, "Kid, here, hold this little bird. I'll give it to you as a gift." So I took it and held it the whole time, and my mom kept telling me to let it go, but I didn't listen to her.
But when we got in the car, the little bird pooped on the seat, and my mom made me throw it out the window.
So I threw it, thinking it was going to fly, but it didn't. And a car came by and ran over it. I just stood there like this, and I was traumatized for about a month by what had happened.
Well, goodbye, master.
Once, when I was in elementary school, they sent me to the principal's office and gave my parents a report for something silly. Because at school, when a teacher entered the classroom, we had to stand up and say good morning,
Mr. Paco.
And then the teacher would say, "Sit down, kids." So one day I thought, what nonsense, why do we have to stand up? It's not like he's the king. So there was one time I didn't stand up and I didn't care at all. And that's it. That's why they took me to the principal's office and sent me a report for bad behavior. And the worst part is that my parents almost knocked my head in if it hadn't been for my uncle who defended me.
Let him go. He didn't do anything. One time, my uncle Nieves almost sent me to hell because I brainwashed my little cousin Raton, telling him he was a warrior god, a chameleon.
and that if he painted himself green with oil paint, he would become invisible to rob banks. And that fool Raton believed it. He painted himself all over, even his tail, and stood next to a plant. But when my uncle walked by, he saw him all shiny and screamed, thinking he was a real goblin. So Raton froze while my uncle sprinkled him with holy water, praying the rosary pale with fright. But in the end, Raton told him everything I had said. They took the paint off him with gasoline and he was left smelling until yesterday. I was scared stiff for a month, but I almost got killed with a slipper for being the goblin painter.
One time I almost lost my right arm because I stuck it into a packing tape roll to show my friend Juan that supposedly I was jacked. But when I tried to pull it out, that thing was already stuck and I quickly went to tell the teacher to help me. And the jerk just laughed. So I rushed to the bathroom. And there, my teacher Paco helped me by putting soap on the tape so it would slide off. In the end, it did come off. I owe my arm to my teacher Paco, an absolute legend.
One time my dad caused a domestic tsunami in the living room. He left the water running because he had put the stopper in the kitchen sink to fill it up. But then my mom called him to pick her up from work. But before leaving, he went to the bathroom to pee and ran out without turning off the faucet. So when they came back, the whole house was already flooded. It was like Temu Venice, the little nativity figurines floating, the Christmas tree about to fall over, my mom's Mika crying, and even a parade of ants migrating out of fear. And the worst part is that my dad wanted it to fill up, and it filled the whole house.